What's going on, everybody? It's Andy the Pop Professor here, and welcome to episode 1 of Building My Lego Baseball Stadium. Hey, everybody, it's Andy the Pop Professor here. If you're new to the channel, thanks so much for joining me. I cover Lego builds, Funko Pop collecting, toy hauls, and much more. So please consider hitting that subscribe button down below and also click the bell notification so you never miss an upcoming video. So as I've mentioned in a few of my past videos, I'm a huge baseball fan. I've in fact got the Ken Griffey Funko Pop Park exclusive right here from Safeco. I got this for Christmas and was really excited. But I grew up following baseball as a kid. I'm an enormous Cubs fan and went to Wrigley Field a ton with my dad growing up, quite often in fact, growing up in northern Illinois. And so for a long time now, I've wanted to start my first big MOC. I've kind of messed around with some small builds before, but mostly built sets with my son and on my own even as a kid. And I was really excited to venture into something big. Some of my favorite builders out there do big Star Wars MOCs, and I have always had the idea when I see the Lego City builds on YouTube of having my own Lego City. But the thing that I keep coming back around to the most was the idea of a baseball stadium, because I feel like eventually that could be the first part of a much larger city that would take a long period of time. And so the other day I just decided to start on it. So today is episode 1 of what will be a regular series updating you on this channel of my Lego build. And I'm preparing, I'm going to a show in Asheville in April. I doubt it will be ready for then, but I'm hoping by fall I'll have something that I can show, maybe at a couple Lego shows, and hopefully meet some of you guys out there while I'm doing it. So there was a lot to think about with this build, and I've got a good start on the infield over there, but I wanted to maybe talk first about a couple of things that really inspired me. First of all, Brick Revolution. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'll put a link up top, and you should definitely check him out. He did a nice series on his baseball diamond a while back, and which kind of, I think, ended in a big display at Philly Brickfest in, I think it was 2016 and 17. So that was very cool and has been really helpful to get me started. I wanted to give a big shout out to him because he did some very cool stuff in those about dozen videos that he did. But I first got inspired by this Wrigley Field build that was shown at the Louisville Slugger Museum. It's exactly what I would love to do. I just really like things being minifig scale because I love having fun with the minifigures and setting up little displays. At least I have ideas about that in my head. And that display, as cool as it was, used a kind of a micro scale fig, which is probably realistic with regards to how big the stadium would otherwise need to be. It would just be enormous. But so I got a lot of inspiration from that and decided I would start with the infield using some green 32 by 32 base plates, and just got going. So my birthday was this month. I took some of my money from that, made a big order from Bricklink. A lot of that has come in. Some of it I've applied, and some of it you'll see over in the shop that it's still in bags, and I'm excited to do that. So I wanted to get this first video going. So let's call it here. I'm going to take the camera and we'll go into the other room and I'll show you what I got. Okay guys, here we go. This is the first view of the Lego baseball stadium that I'm working on building. You can see I've got my build tables here, and if you're familiar with the videos, that's where I usually shoot over there. Some people think this is a garage, but it's actually our basement. We've got tons of storage. The lights aren't on back there. I'll do maybe a full studio tour some other time. But and you can see the tower bridge, which eludes me. It's slowly making progress. So this is the baseball stadium that I've been working on, though, and you can see a couple of different things. I had a really hard time deciding what color to go with for the dirt. So right now I'm using the Lego dark tan, which I'm sort of happy with, but I don't know. I feel like when I look at the colors on photographs, it's actually a little closer to this dark orange or dark flesh or whatever this color is. And I actually think that's the color that I need, but this color is very hard to come by. So right now I'm going with the dark tan, and I'm going to have to contrast that with some around here. This color is going to change. It's just kind of for my own visualization of what this might start to look like. But should basically focus from the alternating colors forward. That's the part that's like a little more complete for the time being. So let me throw this back in here. So you can see I went with this alternating 4x4 plate for the infield. And this is the bright green and then just the regular green color. And I wanted to give it that kind of treated look that so many ballparks have. And I had a hard time because the base plate actually runs here. You can see that seam. And I'm trying to build this off of the modular spec. So 9 studs in, I think it is, or no, 9 or 10, I can't remember. And then the 2 stud brick, and then space between, and then another one, so that this actually comes apart right there and right there at the pitcher's mound. So I'm basically building the infield on a 2x2 grid. And then I'm imagining then that the outfield is going to go at least another 2, 1 in the corner, and then 2 more. And then another row around that will have to be some outfield and then wall for the scale to feel correct. And then I'm going to build stands and all of those things beyond there. I'll actually probably need more tables when this is all done. But I wanted to start with this so that I had a framework to build out from in terms of scale. So I started with base plates down below, and then you can see I just have filler brick all through here. I'll eventually need to maybe swap this out if I want to make these parts modular to the outside, but I just haven't gotten there yet. So there's a ton of 2x4 bricks under here going. You can see over on the side, I basically made a big pattern where I went almost every 2 bricks so that a 4x4 plate can kind of sit on here. And again, this is my first real mock. I've really not done any building before freehand, so that's pretty exciting. So you can kind of see there how that would work if I put that there, then then another one would fit out and alternating, etc. So I had some dark green that a friend of mine just brought me from the Lego store at Disney World, and I had a bunch of white, and then I've since ordered about 100 bricks in like light bluish gray and dark bluish gray, with the thought being that at least then I'll have a bunch of various colors. I don't have a particularly large brick collection, so it's been a slow process already because I'm like starting to thin out some of what I have, but I'll build that up over time in a lot of different colors, and things will be better. So so I went with these 4x4 plates. My friend that was at Disney also brought me these dark green ones. You can see the cup over there from the Pick-a-Brick wall down in Orlando. So I got about, well, a cup full of these for $16, the large cup over there. And then I ordered these on Bricklink and got quite a few, probably 100 of those. And you can see I got a little pile here and more over there in that drawer. And yeah, just started filling in the infield. So the tricky part is if you run diagonal across the base plates, it becomes difficult to do anything that's on this angle, which would appear to be like a straight line. So even just like the pitcher's mound, this was just something I ordered thinking it might look kind of cool, but I think I'm going to go with this for now. And so you can see I had to kind of use this jumper plate below here to get this to sit, because I can rotate it to sit kind of parallel to the front and home plate. I would love to get a more true shape for that, but that is currently down at plate level where I've got the bases above, which are just 2x2 white tiles, of course. So that's working out pretty well. And then I'm going with white tiles in here for the foul line, which will run here, and it will of course go all the way down both lines. So I just got a big order in, and one of the things I ordered was a ton of these white tiles, and you can see all the 1x4 tiles in there, these guys here. and I'm going to be working on installing those somewhat soon. I also, while I rounded this out a little bit, I think in reality, this is a little bit of a deeper dirt hole here to scale, like if where the first baseman would be. So I think I'm going to maybe dig into that. The problem is every time you do anything that's not a perfect square, you then have to fill in the remainder. And I need to get a lot more 1x plates and even 1x1 plates, just the little itty bitty squares to fill in little granular stuff if I decide to kind of go that route. So these are not stuck on right now because I got to dig this out I ran out of tiles when I was building. So I'm going to dig all that out soon and get that going down the first base line. And then this is just a variety of dark tan plates. I happen to have this really big one here, a couple of those, so that helped me kind of see what that might look like. I'd like to find a way to round this off, but like I said, you have to make a choice. The alternative would be for home plate to be here and to move straight out, but then you can't get that kind of diagonal going with the grass. And I just think that when you zoom out and you don't see it quite at such a close level, that the different colors looks really sharp. And you can, if you don't look at the specifics, you know, my eye picks up those diamond patterns in the grass. The white line is really clean in the foul line. And then again, everything from about here back is, I'm just kind of, it's like prototype stuff for the dugout. And that's obviously not done back there. But what I have done, I'm like pretty pleased with. I think it looks really sharp. But please leave your comments down below on suggestions. I really want to make this a community build. I'm sure there's tons of baseball fans out there. Maybe my buddy Ryan over at Jetta Patrol could even get on board with the from the Funko and the Hot Toy side and give me some baseball tips here, because I know we're both big baseball fans. So, so you can see I've got some stuff out here. This is my dark bluish gray plates that I was using in my light bluish gray bricks. There's some more filler brick that I ordered because I'm starting to mock up a dugout here. Everything is raised so that I had some depth to use, which was an idea I took from Brick Revolution to have the dugouts. And I really am excited to get in, like detail those with the batting helmets and all the stuff and get a nice clean solid look above. I've also ordered about 100 of these dark green seats. Being the Wrigley fan, Cubs fan that I am, I had to have dark green seats. And even Fenway, which is kind of my second favorite park, has kind of this color. So I got that. I'm also going to try out, I think, these red bricks for the wall. But I'm actually afraid that they're not going to look quite the way I want. The color's a little too dark. But I'm going to mess around with these. So I ordered a little pack of those to see what I could do. I've been looking at Alice Finch's new Lego architecture book a lot, and she has some amazing ideas with brick and where you can see the gray mortar and stuff. And so I've already been thinking about the wall. So this isn't going to be a Wrigley Field replica. I want to take ideas from all my favorite baseball parks and some of my own as well. But I'm certainly using Wrigley as like the basis. I may have an ivy wall. I may do the green scoreboard and the bleachers. But at the same time, I want to like be able to maybe incorporate some other cool things. I had even thought about doing one idea from like every major league ballpark, if I could sort of like put a little Easter egg, if you will, in that's like a tribute to each park. So if you have ideas about your favorite ballpark and what that would be, please leave them and I'll start figuring out where to go with it. So I've got more just normal tan here, long plates that I can start filling with. Here's the dark tan, which, you know, would fill in all of that. So I'm just going to keep working here and update you guys as I make progress. But I'm really, really excited about this, and I want to make it kind of a regular episode that I'll put out every week or two to give you guys some progress update. So yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at right now. Please leave your thoughts, your comments all down below, and we'll do a quick outro here. See you in a second. All right, guys, so there you have it. There's my Lego baseball field, and I'm really excited that you could join me here on episode 1 of this series. So please, especially if you're a baseball fan out there and you have ideas about what part type would be cool for the foul poles or the flags, I've been thinking about all that kind of stuff. And of course, I'm not there yet. I'm going to try to build, some stadium seating on the sides and just see where it goes. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Of course, half the problem is getting all the parts for each phase of the design, but I think it's totally possible. I'm also looking for a color to go around the back of the home plate area, basically the warning track that goes all the way around. I'm thinking about just brown for that, but I think there's a number of different options that could look really cool. I'm excited about building like bullpens and all kinds of really, really cool stuff. And I've been thinking for a long time about the scoreboard area at Wrigley, where they have all the pennants, the flags in the wind for all of the different 6 divisions, and who's in what place is determined by how high on the pole they are. And I thought if I could get kind of a flag close in color to each team, I could put that up top on the scoreboard, which would be a pretty cool feature. So tons of ideas. As always, it's really great to be with you, and I really appreciate you joining me on the channel. Please consider liking, leave me a comment down below, share the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to build, support, and collect, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.